are born to win. No smoke, and like a Northwood, sun, and a long road. Oh, and let me bacha for me, chow. Oh, Tabi, at enemy, for me. Born we now, there's no testimony of the born we now. Ẹ̀rọ mi níṣẹ́, mo tẹ̀ ń ṣiṣẹ́ yẹn o. Àdúrà, àdúrà màmá mi ti gbà o. I no be shout, only child. Undisclosed location, remote suspension, professional for my profession. You go stay there, yeah. I'm a blessed child. It's unnecessary to attempt to even try. Cause all this time, I'm making sacrifices. Now I'm 45. Orijo, hey, you got me by child, Orijo. Baby, enemies are for me. On me now, this not testimony of the born me now. Ẹ̀rọ mi níṣẹ́, mo tẹ̀ ń ṣiṣẹ́ yẹn o. Àdúrà, àdúrà màmá mi ti gbà o. Àánú bí shout, orí ìjà o. Remember, you are not born to be discouraged. You are not born to lose direction in life. You are not born any other thing than to win. And
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to today's live session. While you are here, remind your study buddy, remind your partner, remind your groups, remind your friends, tell them not to miss this session. It's a full hand-to-hand session, hand-to-hand. You should not miss it. Your friends should not miss it too. While you are here, remind that friend, drop that chat in your group. They need to be here.
It's our life every day I don't back. Why don't you me make me stronger? But this one week we make a no lie. Look at my eye when I think of you. But the Lord now you for don't jare. Why don't you me make me stronger? But this one week we make a no lie. I never see another woman like this. You tell me say you want to pull out your pajantis. Say the little light of mine. Oh my go shine, shine, shine. Mommy, can you see me? Up, down, mama. Many, many times I did receive gone, gone. You say you wait a little longer. It's our life, every day I do back. Why don't give me make me stronger? But this one week me make a no lie. Look at my eye when I think of you. But the Lord now you for don't jare. Why don't give me make me stronger? But this one week me make a no lie.
Good evening, everyone. How are you doing? Happy Sunday, wherever you're joining us from. Thank you for joining us yesterday. Today, we'll be continuing with Microsoft Fabric, and I'm sure you are more than excited. I want us to send our reactions. Let me be sure that yes, you're with me and you can hear me loud and clear. Please send your reactions. Let me see your reactions. Great, great, great. So, welcome to today's live session. Today, we'll be walking through end-to-end end-to-end analytics with Microsoft Fabric, end-to-end analytics with Microsoft Fabric, and we have a Microsoft certified trainer again with us. So we're not just giving you trainers, we're giving you Microsoft certified trainers. Person of Mr. Oluwapelumi Aroshaye. So before that, let's Adediran David, the business intelligence analyst, Teleno Consulting Limited, Nigeria. So about me, I've developed and maintained real-time dashboards. I'm also committed to continuous learning, professional growth, and networking. So aside data, I also enjoy taking pictures and making videos. So our ground rules: punctuality, have an open mind, one class, we are all one under the same analytics mentorship program. Participation, make sure you fully participate. Respect, please respect each other, respect your opinions, ask questions, whatever you're not clear with, just please ask questions. Your mic is always muted. When you have any question, please raise your hand or you can drop it in the chat. We'll attend to it. So who is our speaker today is Mr. Oluwapelumi Aroshaye. He's a Microsoft certified trainer, a Fabric data engineer certified, Microsoft certified Fabric analytics engineer associate, Microsoft certified Power BI data analyst, 2+ years business intelligence and experience. He has trained over 3,000 participants, built robust analytics systems for different industries ranging from oil and gas, logistics, financial institutions within and outside Nigeria. He's a co-lead at Microsoft Fabric Nigeria, co-organizer, Analytic Extra Mentorship Program. He's a provost, PIG, and Impact Academy. You can as well connect with him on LinkedIn, you can also on Medium, Oluwapelumi at Oluwapelumi Arowoshaye. Mr. Oluwapelumi Arowoshaye, you can take it from here now, sir. You're welcome.
All right, thank you very much. I think I prefer calling me Oluwapelu is fine. Just let me know the Mr. Um, I hope you can hear me clearly.
Yes, loud and clear.
Okay, good day, everyone. Wherever you are joining us from, good afternoon, good morning, good evening. How are we doing today? Can we chat? I don't know if they have access to chat.
Yes, they can
Today?
chat. Yes, sir,
Okay, all right. Thank you very much for that. So let's go into how today. How are we doing today? I want to see our charts. Let's go into the charts. How are you doing today? Great. We are good. We are good, Sha. Hope you are too. Yeah, I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm doing well. Okay, weather is cool. Okay, thank you. More. So I would waiting back us. Yeah. So I'm not just even coming here to train. I train for a living. Yes, I train for a living. So in my company, I do training and I do consulting. So almost every day I go for training. So I will need that interaction. We are doing great. Okay. Okay, how's the program been for us? I think it has been a quite while. Yeah, a long one for us. How has it been? So just for you to know, I'm also a my audio is breaking. Can anyone confirm?
It's
Tolulope said
breaking.
my audio is breaking.
Yeah, but it's
It's
fine now.
breaking.
Yeah, but it's
Okay, it's
fine now.
fine. Okay. All right. Thank you very much for that feedback. Okay, so as you know, I'm also a co-organizer of this program with my boss, that's Adewale. So just to get feedback from us, how has it been before you even go into what we have for today? So I need feedback from us. You can type, and if you just want to say something, you can just maybe raise your hand while David will give you the access to mic, just to hear from us. I know I have just 1 hour for this session. Anybody? So because we don't just want to do this, and this is the second time we are doing this, and then we would also love to get feedback so that we can know what we are doing right and what we are not doing right. Anybody want to say something? Okay, I think people are dropping in chat already. Challenging but pushing to the end. Yeah, sorry about that, Joanne. So that's how you learn. Yeah, it will challenge you, and that's how you learn. That's how you learn. Yeah, because challenges would always make force you to learn and then try to get things done. And then when you get things done, yeah, it becomes part of you, and yeah, you know that for life. Another person is the only Joanne that we have. Okay, so let me take up the sharing. Can you confirm if you can see my screen?
Yes, sir. Your screen is
Just to
up. We can see.
confirm. All right. So I don't like the way we are so dull here this evening because I need feedback from us. Or I can only see okay, it's like someone already dropped. I think the main challenge for me is the time management. Okay. Yeah, I know that a lot of us are professionals, working professionals already, and juggling with this can be challenging. Can be challenging. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Well done, everyone. And then I would will I say I think if I could remember very well, we admitted over 300 people, and then looking at people on the call presently, yeah, we are just less than even 30. Yeah, that shows that yeah, we ourselves we are not even expecting people to be much. All right, let's get into what we have for today. Yeah, so we want to look at how you can do an end-to-end analytics with Microsoft Fabric. I know following Shaw did introduction to Microsoft Fabric for us yesterday, and then I think I was reading in the chat. I think AEM one thereabout. I think that's the first group. Someone was saying that oh, it's challenging. She was just let's say he or she was saying that oh, I was just looking at my screen. I don't even understand what is going on and the likes. And I saw that some of our colleague or some of his colleague actually shared some part for us to learn. Yeah, I believe Florence did justice to introduction to Fabric yesterday. So, but I would like to confirm from us. I want us to unmute our mic now, so you can, if you want to talk, you just raise your hand. Why um, David would give you access to the mic. So, just tell me what do you understand by Microsoft Fabric? Yeah, based on what you learned yesterday. I know some of us we started using Microsoft Fabric, or yeah, just let me know what you understand by Microsoft. Because if you don't understand Microsoft Fabric, it's very hard for you to even okay, how do you now do analytics end to end to that? So who's talking? I wouldn't want us to stretch beyond just 1 hour, so let's make it very fast. Yeah, there's no right or wrong answer. I want us to know that. Anybody? Okay. So are we saying that no one is ready to talk? AEM one troublemaker. Different names. So who is raising his or her hand? I don't know if David can see anyone hand up.
No, nobody's hand is up yet.
Eh. So are we saying we don't understand what Microsoft Fabric is? If we don't understand what Microsoft Fabric, we can't do hand to hand then. Seriously, we'll not do anything if I don't get feedback from us. So are we saying, okay, if you attended yesterday's session, raise your hand. But we don't know how to use the hand tool. Is that what we are saying? Is a platform
Okay, so we have
comprise?
someone's hand is raised. Ibrahim Adebayo, so I'll give you access now. Then
You,
speak.
you need to confirm why he's raising his hand. Is it that he attended yesterday's session, or you want to tell me about Microsoft Fabric? Because I asked the question already. Okay, but I think some people are dropping it in chat. The platform comprised with different hubs for analysis, BI, real-time apps. Okay, Microsoft Fabric is like a connector for all our analytics and engineering softwares. Okay. Hmm. This to look man. It's new to me. I am still waiting for the recording to get a hang of it. Let me not mention what you said before that. So, Telia, I think that's the person that just got job recently. It's a central analytics. Congratulations. The central analytics where all data professionals can collaborate from data engineers to data scientists. Okay, interesting, interesting. Thank you very much for those that have dropped in the chat. Okay, I don't know if Ibrahim want to say something, and Ijoma, I hope I pronounced that right. So you can give them my let's hear from them very quickly.
Yes, Ibrahim, you can go ahead now. So after Ibrahim, we'll take Ijoma.
Hi, Ibrahim.
Hi, Ibrahim, you can just unmute your mic and speak. So I'm giving you access. I think we should go to Ijoma.
Okay.
I'm not okay.
Yeah, let's go to Ijoma then.
Hi, Ijoma, you can speak now. You can just unmute your mic and speak. Okay, I think
Are people struggling to talk?
Ijoma is not here again.
Have you given access to Mike? I'm
Yes,
not
I
sure.
have.
I can see that from my end.
I've given her the access, so she just needs to. She just
I'm
needs
not
to.
seeing it from my end as I'm saying. I'm not seeing you giving access. Okay, now it's reflected. So hi Ijoma, can you hear? Let's give Soye.
Hi, Shoya, you can go ahead and
I just need
unmute
one
your.
person to just need one person. Just
Hello.
yeah, go on.
Hi. Good evening. Confirm you can hear me.
Yeah, very clearly.
Okay. Thank you for the opportunity. So, yesterday, I learned about Fabric's introduction. I think for me, it's an all-encompassing suite of software that is online. You don't need to install. It's not a desktop app like the Power BI desktop app that you install on the desktop, but it's a SaaS, and
Mm-hmm.
you can collaborate with one another, like the data
Mm-hmm.
engineers, the
Mm-hmm.
analysts. Also learned about data lake and
Mm-hmm.
data lake. So you have to do with structured, semi-structured, and
Mm-hmm.
unstructured data. Then also talked about lake house. Before I've been hearing about lake house, so I was
Mm-hmm.
wondering what that meant. So
Mm-hmm.
it's a workspace that is built uh, in one lake so that you can manage and analyze data. You can derive
Interesting.
insights in lakehouse.
Interesting. Interesting. Thank you very much. I'm sorry. Okay, so I wanted to move forward, but I think Ibrahim want to talk. David, can you please give him mic? I think that's the last person we'll take before we go into today's session.
Okay, Ibrahim,
Okay,
you can.
Ibrahim.
Okay, sorry, I minimized my team
Yeah,
and was
don't worry,
struggling
just
to
go on.
get to come back. Thank you.
Uh,
So Microsoft Fabric is Microsoft Cloud platform for performing analytics operation, for data scientist operation, data engineering tasks, and data scientist tasks. It's a platform that combines and allows you to perform all those tasks on a single platform in the cloud.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much for that. So thank you everyone for that explanation, for those that dropped in the chat, and then for the two persons that talked. All right. So don't get it complicated. Don't will I say stress your brain too much to Microsoft Fabric. It's something we have been using. Some of us, yeah, we have been learning. Or let me say, you've learned Microsoft Excel, you've learned Power BI, you've learned SQL, and now Microsoft Fabric. Those some of the things, some of the tool you've learned in your Power BI, in your SQL, are also embedded in Microsoft Fabric. Microsoft Fabric is just bringing every data professionals in one place. Oh, I as a data analyst, I go there to do my job. I don't need, based on the access that I have, I don't need to start okay reaching out on names to data engineers or any data. In as much as I have access to the data, then I can connect to it and create my report, and that is all. The way you have your Power BI, you can create your reports, you can create your visuals and the likes. You can also do that. You are not learning any, will I say, any tool. If your own is to focus on the, will I say, analytic aspect of it, that's the data, you being a data analyst. So since you've known your Power BI, you know your SQL, you can transfer this knowledge to it. Your Power Query, your Power Query that you have in Power BI is just the data flow gen 2 that you have in Fabric. If you can use Power Query in Power BI, you can use data flow gen 2. It's the same interface. You don't need to, let's say, confuse yourself about all this. The way you write your SQL script on your SSMS, you can also write the scripts in your lakehouse. That's the SQL endpoint. You can also write the script in your data warehouse. They are Microsoft tools. In as much as you are using Microsoft tools, you will, let's say, get acquainted to it. So maybe some things you're not familiar with, maybe the data engineering aspect when you start using notebooks, when you start doing maybe data scientists just doing machine learning and maybe real-time intelligence. Yeah, but the one that you know now, you can still transfer that knowledge. It's just like you are not having an application, you are now doing it on the cloud, software as a service. So now I want to look at how I can be able to do analytics from start to the end. That is how from the data injection aspects down to the reporting side. That's what we want to look. And we are not going, I will make this session as very simple as possible. So what we just want to do, we want to bring in data and then use, we are going to ingest the data using data flow gen 2. That's your Power Query. And I believe a lot of us have used Power Query because I can see a lot of us doing projects on Power BI and the likes. Even if you use Excel, there is Power Query in Excel. You can also transfer the knowledge to data flow gen 2. So we are going to we are going to ingest our data through data flow gen 2, and then we move it to warehouse. So in warehouse, we do some you use SQL script to normalize our data, and then after doing that, we then connect to our from our Power BI desktop. I will not even create report on the cloud. We will use Power BI desktop that you're familiar with. So we'll just connect Power BI desktop to the warehouse, and then we create report, and we are done. You don't have to stress yourself, or I'm not even going to anything engineering aspects of it, going into depth of it at all. So just don't be, well, I say, don't be scared about the words or Microsoft Fabric is a new thing. No, it's not really a new thing. It's something you are familiar with that you can use to transfer. So you can transfer your knowledge to it. So if there's any question, you can just drop it in the chat, and then I will give answers to it. So any question at this moment before we go into what we have for today? Okay, I don't think we have any question. So now to get to Fabric, two ways to get to Fabric. You can either go through Power BI service, that's the cloud version of Power BI. We are all aware of that. Or you go through its website directly, that's app.fabric. So now if I'm to go now, that's app.fabric.microsoft.com. And then it's going to ask you to sign in. So I'm going to go there. So just to confirm, can we see my screen? Yes, yes in the charts. Just to confirm. You have a question. Okay. Can you give Ibrahim mic? I'll just take his question and then we go into the session. So after the session, I'm going to take questions. So can you give him mic, David?
Yes, Ibrahim, you can go ahead now.
What's the question?
Okay, thank you. Thank you. When we are working on our project and we
Okay.
had to transform our data set in Power Query, it's a really large
Okay.
data set, more
Okay.
than 30 million records, 30 million rows. I've never
Rose.
seen work with the data that large before. So it took
Okay.
more than 40 minutes. It was taking more than 30 minutes and the data was not fully loaded for transformation. I mean, in Power Query, the Power Query will scan through all the rows to summarize the data. When you click the query profile
Mm-hmm. Long
option,
profile.
it was taking more than 40 minutes to to describe the data content, the column content. My
Mm-hmm.
laptop was getting really hot and slow. So I'm asking, can Power Query handle really large data set like SQL and those tools? Can Power Query handle really large data set for transformation?
Yeah. Yeah, it can. So it depends on Power BI itself is a very large application. So it's even always advisable that when you're working with Power BI, if you have other applications that you are not actively using, you close them. Another thing, it depends on the RAM of your laptop. If the RAM of your laptop is not strong, it also affects the transformation. So that's that way. And when you're using Power Query, you don't column profile on you don't do your column profiling on the entire data set. Another thing that can help you is to just okay maybe just on the because if you don't enable that setting, it's just 1000 the first 1000 rows that Power Query work with. So but if you can do your transformation in SQL, that's SSMS, yeah, free to do that and then connect to it, and then yeah, that way is even best. It can handle more than because that's serving as your database. It can handle more than Power Query. Power Query, you have the data inside Power BI. So that way, so it depends on many factors. So depending on what the factors are all the factors I mentioned, whatever you are working on, maybe your application on your RAM of your laptop, you have to have a strong RAM. Yeah, you can't be loading 30 million rows and you are working on you have a RAM of 4 gig RAM or 8 gig RAM. Even 8 gig is still low for that because is 30 million rows is not some small thing. So it depends on many factors. But you have the option of doing your transformation in SSMS. Yeah, feel free to do that and just connect to SQL Server, and then create your report using Power BI. I hope that answers the question. So another thing you may do, maybe if you are using maybe the file you connected to is Excel workbook, you can make use of a CSV thereabout. All right, so without wasting much of our time, so now want to do end to end. So very quickly, the first thing I need to create is the workspace I want to work with. The workspace I want to work with. So I'll just create new workspace. I think this we should be familiar with this if you have used Power BI service. So I'm just going to say AEM class, or let me say AEM session. So and then I'll click on apply. So all those other things, yeah, may not necessarily in trial, it's fine, and the like. So apply just for me to create. So I told us that we want to ingest the data using Dataflow Gen 2, which is your Power Query. So now new item. So that's the first thing I want to use Dataflow Gen 2. So new item, I'm just going to search for Dataflow. So this Dataflow Gen 2, you can see prepare, clean, and transform data. So it's going to ask me to give my Dataflow Gen 2 a name. So please just pen your questions down. So AEM Dataflow, and then I create. So if you go to Power Query, if you go to it now, you will see that we have interface of Power Query. So don't, as I said, just be cool with the platform. So it's work on internet. So and then just let's say enjoy with me because I think the rain that fell over here is affecting my internet. But let's see. All right, so you can see it's just an interface like Power Query for you. So I want to get in my data. So get data. I have my data in CXV. I have my data in CSV. So various ways you can always bring in data. So when you're working, yeah. So you want to connect to data flow. So when you want to load to data warehouse, just make sure that the file you are bringing into data flow is on the same account that is maybe the OneDrive. So you can see link to file or upload file. So you can either just put in the path. So make sure the part if the file you want to ingest in is in the OneDrive or in the same account where you are working on. Yes. So because this is a cloud thing, so it's going to just pick the file and the likes. So I'm just going to use the aspect of upload file so I can just pick it directly from my OneDrive. So I'm going to click on browse. So I'm going to click on browse. So I'm just going to select where I have it. I think the name of the file is AEM data. Is it loading? I think it's loading. Just give it a moment. Just hold on. Yeah, I think I have it here. Yeah, so this, and then I click on open. So I believe we understand the concept of data modeling very well. I believe everyone. We understand the concept of data modeling and why it is important, why it is important in analytics. Okay, okay, all right, thank you. So it's currently loading is 2.7 MB. And another restriction or challenge that will be for a lot of us is if you don't have a developer account, you'll not be able to, except your organization uses Fabric, and which I doubt you'll be able to practice because it's money running. So another challenge for people is developer accounts. Yeah, it's very, very hard to get now for practice. So it's currently uploading. Okay, yeah, it's downloading. So and then I click on next. Just taking a while. Okay, so it's you can also preview whatever you have there. So this is what I have in the data is just a denormalized table. And when we made a denormalized table, just one big table with many columns. That was the reason why I asked that do we understand data modeling? Because I'll be using some data modeling what I say terminology so we can be very fast with this. So I have just one table, but we are going to break it down. At least we are going to normalize the table. So this is the data that I have. So I can decide to just rename this just to remove the 2 year, and I have this. So the way you can remove rows, remove columns, and the likes, you have it in Power Query here. So now I'm not doing any transformation. Yeah. So if you want to do any transformation to the file that you have there, then you can go on to do the transformation. Yeah. But the data is clean for me. I'm not doing any transformation, and just for me to load it to data warehouse. So and you cannot. It's not only data warehouse you can load to. I think Folorunsho mentioned the aspect of lakehouse. So we have lakehouse, we have warehouse. So depending on the choice of the one you want to use. So you can read more of okay, when should I use a lakehouse? When should I use a warehouse? But we have different data destination. So now if you come to this add the add data destination thereabout here, if you click the drop down, you will see the um data destination that we currently have. So we have the lakehouse, we have the warehouse, we have the SQL database, we have SharePoint. So and I believe Microsoft will keep updating them. So we want to pick warehouse here. And then another aspect you can do is to come to this bottom right here. You will see data destination also there. You can click the plus sign and then you select the destination that you want. Don't forget, we only created data flow. We are here to create our data warehouse. So I need to go back to my workspace because that is where it houses all the items I'm creating. So I need to go back to my workspace to create data warehouse so that I can then load this data to the warehouse. So I'm just going to go there. So my workspace. So what's the name of that my workspace? Okay, AEM session. I think this is where I have it here. So I click on it and then just go into it, new item. Just let me know if I'm too fast. So I'm just trying to manage your time. I believe Folorunshot did, will I say, navigation of all this yesterday. So warehouse, I'm going to select my warehouse and it's going to ask me name. So AEMWH, that's warehouse. And then I create. So if you can write your SQL, yes, you can. The will I say the flavor of the SQL is T-SQL. That's Transact SQL, the one that SSMS is using. So now this is the interface of the warehouse. You can also ingest data. You can bring in data through here, and you can use your data flow to also load data into it. So where you have your schema, you understand your schema, so you can create a new schema. The default one is always DBO. Yeah, so you can always create your schema and the likes, but we are not going into all that. So I'm going to go back to my data flow, and in my data flow, so here I want to load this data into the warehouse. So I'm going to select warehouse. I'm going to select warehouse. So selected warehouse, and then I'm going to click on next. Okay, so now you can see. So if you have more than one warehouse, it's going to list all the different warehouses that you have. But I only have one, and then this staging one is just when you create a warehouse, it's going to create a staging warehouse for you. So I'm going to select this, and if I want to change the table name, I can decide to change the table name, but I think that's fine. So in Fabric, you can do Power BI and SQL work from Fabric without having Power BI desktop MS. Yeah, yes, you can do that. You can do that. So then I click on next. I click on next. So now this is just for you to check maybe the data type are fine and the likes. So if this is the first time you load in, yeah, the replace option can be okay. But if you've loaded a particular aspect of data and then you just want to add to rows, then you can click on append. Because if you click on replace, whatever you have there, it's going to replace whatever you are bringing in. So I'm going to just save settings. I'm just going to save settings. So that's why I said that if you have, that is why, irrespective of the buzzwords around that we are hearing around AI, is going to take your job. If you understand the foundation, you would be able to, will I say, know all of these things. So foundation is actually very important. So how do you use Power Automate in Fabric? Yeah, so that's the aspect of the real intelligence. Sorry, yes, that's it. Real intelligence. Yeah, that's the aspect of it. So you can always automate whatever maybe data you want to bring in, maybe batch a lot. So I'm not really familiar with the real-time intelligence. Yeah, that's the best word. Real-time intelligence. So you can always use your automate aspect of that in, and then you can also do even automation. Maybe not using Power Automate. You can do automation with your different pipelines. Yeah. So let's see if I go back to my workspace. Let me see if my data flow has loaded. I think it has loaded. So let me go back to my warehouse and let's see if I have the table there. Let's see if I have the table there. So I'm not sure it's here yet. So let me refresh. But I believe my data flow should still be loading. Can I zoom? How about now? Is it better? I think it should be better now. So let me see. Oh, sorry. So you can see, I just pick data destination. I'm here to even run it. I'm here to run it. So I'm going to save and run. So you can see the option here. I'm going to save and run. So I only picked data at the destination. I didn't run it. So I need to save it and then run it so that it can load the data into my warehouse. So I think it should be loading currently. So let me go back to my workspace. So it's currently still loading. So let's just wait for it. So I'm going to I'm going to be asking us a lot of questions. Yeah, since we said we understand data modeling. So now we have a denormalized table. We want to normalize it. So you will help me with it, how to create the different tables, and then how to ingest data into those tables from the denormalized table. I hope we are still together. Any questions so far? Any questions so far? If you are together, just type we are yes, yes in the chat. If you are on the same bus, yes. If we've not dropped you, type yes, yes in the chat. Just one person. Okay, I think I can see second person. More. Let's keep it coming. Okay. All right. Okay. Let's keep it coming. If we are on the same, and we are not on the same, but just type no. You don't have to. Yeah. If we are not on the same, but just type no. So while we are waiting for our data flow to load, people in this class, I only have just 3 yes in the chat. What's going on? Omo, I am tailing you new. What's the meaning of tailing? Please let me understand. Okay, please, we need to get the recording of this accessible because the network breaks at some point. Oh, apologies for that. So yeah, I'm going to tell Boss Adewale regarding that. Yeah, you should know he's a very busy person. So what I would tell him to make it available for both sessions, the one for yesterday and the one for today. And you can always drop your question in the chats. I'm on all chats. Yes, so I see everything going on in there. Okay, there's a time delay from from your hand. Yeah, but we definitely need a robot to fully get a hang of it. Okay, that's fine. Hold on, everyone. Okay, I think our data flow is done loading. So let me go to warehouse. So I believe um my table should have loaded. So let me refresh. He said, "You are not inside, boss. Oh, you are with me. Ow." Okay, so our data was loaded. So let's just have a preview of the data. Okay, so just hold on. Let me see if I can zoom. I think I can zoom. So now looking at our data here. So looking at our data here, so this is what we have, and then want to try to normalize the data. So now how do you start to write your SQL script? So you come to where you have your queries here. You come to where you have your queries here, click the let's say the drop down, or so if this effect you've not written any queries before, if you've not written any queries before, so you can just create new SQL query. So just click on new SQL query and it's going to give you a fresh page here. So now looking at what we have here, everybody let's look up. Let's look up. Looking at what we have here. So now we want to normalize this data. So how many tables do you think I'm going to have? And when we're talking about normalizing data, that's normalization. You are breaking that one big table into facts and dimension. You're breaking it into facts and dimension. I don't want to go into data modeling. So, but I would ask us. So now we're going to have one fact table. So how many dimensions table do you think we'll have through this data? How many dimensions table? How many dimensions table? 3 to 4. Hmm. You need to be specific. Maybe you can list the dimensions table we are going to have. I just want us to know. I just want to know if we understand because data modeling is actually very important. So I'm only seeing just one person in the chat. 5 dimensions table. Okay. Another one. Region, market, store, dates. I'm not getting. All right, so thank you. It's not to waste much time. So now we are going to just have 4 dimensions table and work fat table. That's everything. All the tables we want to get out of is just 5. So now looking at what we have here, region, market, store would be on one table. I don't want to go into data modeling. You can, if you don't understand data modeling, please and please, for you to be a very good data analyst, you need to understand data modeling. It will help you. So region, market, store, one table. And then we also have trade date, fiscal period, and day category, another table. Those are dimension table I'm mentioning. And then we have version, will have its own table. We have business type, would also have its own table. So those are the 4 dimensions table that we have. And what we are going to have in our fact table are the dimension keys and then the values field. That is the columns or fields that you can aggregate, measure, that gives meaning to the business. So now I have, not to waste much of our time, I have the SQL script written. I will just copy. You can practice on your own. I can even, will I say, put it in a text file, and then I will send it to us so that we can check. Okay, someone said I'm not seeing the screen in real time, but I know it's from my hand. Please, can anyone also confirm? Okay, maybe I should switch off my camera if that will help. Or can anyone confirm if you can see my screen in real time? Is it lagging? Okay, if my screen is lagging, yes, yes in the chat. If it is not, no, no, no in the chat. So I know where the issue is coming from. Okay, my screen is not lagging. Okay, that's fine. I think I can still leave my camera on. Okay. So now I want to create these tables, and then when we create these tables, we are going to ingest data into it. So I'm just going to create, so I'm just going to copy the script that I have because of our time. So you can see I want to create this table called location. I want to have the different columns inside, that is the region aspect of it. And then my store should not contain null. Yes, it should have value in it. So I'm just going to run the script. So I'm going to run it. When I run it, you are going to see the table is going to appear under these tables. So it's still currently executing. So now if you look at this, you see that I have the location table, but it's tiny. Okay, let me zoom out. Sorry, let me zoom in. Is it zoom in or zoom out? Let me expand my screen so that you understand. All right. So now I've created the locations table. So now I want to create the date table. So I go to copy my date table, the syntax. I believe we are all familiar with this because Adewale gave us a video on SQL for us to do. That's just your create table syntax. So I'm going to run this. So I've created the date table, and then we want to create the version table. The version table. I'm going to create the version table. So I'm actually doing it one after the other, so not to copy everything at once, so we can understand better. Business type table. I'm going to copy the business type table. I'm going to run it. And then the last one is the fact table. Fact table. So I'm going to run this. So now I've created all the 5 tables that I need. That is the fact table and the dimensions table. So you can see if I expand this, you see all the tables. So this is the normalized table. So while we've broken it down to business type, date table, fact table, location, and version. So now we want to ingest the data that we have here. The data that we have here, we want to ingest, we want to try to extract it so that we can put it in all the different tables. If I go to all these tables now, they are empty. If I go to business type, nothing is there. We created table. We are yet to put in values into it. You can see that it's empty. So I need to put in values into it. So I'm still going back to my SQL script. So now, okay, maybe I should just create another SQL script for me inserting those values. So now I want to insert this into, I want to insert data. So insert into location, select the, yeah, your dimensions table should not have duplicate. The dimension table should not have duplicates, and then you should be able to use your store, which is the dimension key, to remove those duplicates. So you can see it's not null. Select these things from the region, column, markets, and store. So I'm just going to specify what I need. So I need the store, I need the region, and also need the markets. So those are the columns that I need here. I'm just going to run this. What's going on? Is it my screen? Let me see. So let me expand this. Okay, I don't know what's going on, but let me see. It's going to run. Okay, so now if I go to my location table now, let's see if it populated the right thing for me. This was the issue that I had earlier. This was the, so you can see. So let me see what is wrong here. So because I created my so I told you to select distance. I even specify, I think this was what I even asked the community yesterday. So let me see what it did here. So region, it gave it it put market under it. Market, it put in store, and then store we have region. So let me check my script. So now I have store, region, and then I have market. Okay, I think I'm just going to delete what I have there because it did not populate the right data for me. So let me see if I have any delete script here. Or I drop the table and then create the table again. Okay, so let me just drop the table. Let me just drop the table. Drop table, location. I'm just going to run it. So I'm going to create it back and then load it inside. So where's my SQL script one? Let's create a table now again. Okay, that's fine. So I think this should work without, let me see. Yeah, this should work. Okay, here it's still AM data. Yeah. So let me run this now. I think it's been arranged the same way I have it in my table. So let me see location table. I just want to confirm what I have there. Okay, I think I have the right thing now. So let me go back to my script. So now I'm just going to remove this. So now I want to insert data into the version table. So let me copy that version table. So this should not give me issue. Run that. So I want to insert to my date table. So just to make this fast, that I'm just copying the code here with session explaining the code to this type. If you have done the SQL aspect well, it should not be issue. So business type and then So fact table, you have duplicate in it. That is, the same person can come into the organization and do as many transactions as possible in a day. That's going to be okay. Still currently. Still currently running. This is taking longer. What's going on? Please, if you are together, kindly give me a thumbs up. The chat, sorry, no, you can just react. But to load, you can see just one person. It is not affecting this now. What's going on? I can't even see that via again. Sorry, can you hear me? Am I still audible? I don't know if David can hear me.
Yes, sir, loud and clear, sir.
Okay, okay, thank you. Why is it still taking ages? Okay, let me just refresh. Let me see what's going on. That takes longer. Network is dealing with me now. What's going on? Sorry, it's a network issue. Let me see the speed of my network. I think it's a network issue now. Let me see my router. Nothing is wrong with it. So why is it being slow? Apologies. Okay, it's loading. What's my internet speed? No, that's just 3.5, but it's still fair. Still fair. Maybe I should hold my video then, and let's see if that will help. Let me hold my video, and let's see if that will help. Okay, so let me check the table. Don't worry, we're rounding up soon. So let's see if it has loaded for date table. Let me see. Okay, that's loaded for date table. So let me check for fact table if I have anything there. Let me see if I have anything on fact table. It's fact table that's taking longer. Okay, nothing on the fact table yet. So let me check location table. Okay, something should be location table already. So it's version. Something should be in the table already. So just version and business type I want to check now. Yes. Yes, serious. Internet that is causing issue here. Can't hear you, but it's breaking a bit. Not sure if it is my signal. I think it should be from my hand. Is anyone proving this also? Because internet is even misbehaving here.
Hello, sir. I can hear you loud and clear.
Okay, I think you can still hear me. Um, let's hope it's come back. Yeah, that's one of the, well, I say one of the issues you face when you are working on the cloud. Yeah, but now I can't see your screen, but I can hear you. Okay, David, can you see me?
Yes, sir. I can still see your screen.
I think it's clear.
But I think it's still
Understanding,
delayed.
right? I think it's from your hand.
It's delayed a bit. You're on the Explorer
Yeah, it's
tab
still even still
every time.
no, I'm not on the Explorer tab. Oh. My screen is even loading.
Oh, that means I'm the same
My
thing.
screen is even loading. Okay, let me share again.
Yeah.
My screen is even loading. Okay, so let me share again. MT. Yeah, I'm also using MTN router. 5G router. Uh, uh, uh. So I'm sharing again. So I don't know what you can see.
Can't see anything yet from my hand.
Maybe I can confirm. I'm sharing my screen already. Same. Interesting. So maybe I didn't know if I can leave and join and rejoin. Maybe I will help. Let me leave and rejoin.
Okay. You get.
Yeah.
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear now.
The network is really, it's very disturbing.
I think it's still breaking a bit. The weather is not so good today. Hello, everyone. Please, we are having little network issues from Mr. Volume's end, so he will join. He will join soon. He's trying to restart his router, so hopefully it gets better. Please just kindly hold on. Thank you.
Mommy, can you see me? But I put down for my many times I didn't see you gone. Need you wait for a little longer. It's our life every day I do.
So can you confirm if you can see my screen?
Yes, I can see your screen now.
Okay, what about others? Okay. I had to restart the router. Apologies about that. So I just want to confirm if I have data in some orders. Okay, I have data in business type. Let me check version. Okay, I think it's only fact table that we are yet to have data in it. Okay, so let me open my SQL script back. So where's my fact table? So this is the fact table. Let me use lines and then let me run it. Hopefully it will not take time. Okay, yeah, it's downloading. So now we've created our facts and then dimension in your warehouse. So now we want to be able to connect to all these tables from our Power BI desktop. I don't know if Falorunsho was able to connect to Lakehouse from Power BI desktop yesterday, or was it that he created Power BI from his he used Power BI directly on the cloud? Was it desktop he used? Someone say my voice is breaking. Can anyone hear me clearly, please?
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear.
Okay. All right. So we've created the different tables now. Created the different tables. So we want to be able to connect to these tables, the facts and dimension, and then create our reports in Power BI, Power BI um, desktop. So now I'm going to go back to my desktop. So we are familiar with this. It's something, yeah, I believe everyone on this call should have used. So now how do I connect from Power BI desktop to my warehouse? So different ways you can come to your get data here. You come to more. When you click on more, I believe you can see my Power BI screen. Please confirm if you can see my Power BI screen so that I'm not just doing things on my own. Okay, I think someone confirmed. So you can, if you come to Microsoft Fabric here, you see warehouse here, thereabouts, and you can select. Another way is just to click on this one lake catalog. So that is where everything is. The different things you can connect to from Power BI desktop. So I'm going to click the drop down and I'll see data warehouse, and I click on it. So Another thing you need to make sure when you want to connect to the data you have in your warehouse, you want to use Power BI desktop to connect to it. You want to make sure that the account you signed in here is the same thing as the one you want to get the warehouse from. Because if it's not the same thing, you will not see the warehouse you've created. So now I have this warehouse here, which is AGM warehouse. That was what we created, and I'm going to click select it. And then when you see connect, you have two options. You have connect to one lake, you have to connect to SQL endpoint. So when it comes to you doing reporting, the SQL endpoint is still the best for you because it is for analytics. So this one lake, when you connect to it, it's going to create a semantic model for you. And that's you want to be able to make change from your warehouse and you want it to reflect on your Power BI desktop. So I'm going to connect to SQL endpoint. I'm going to connect to SQL endpoint. So it's currently loading. So it's going to ask me to sign into my account just to confirm. So I'm going to select the account. So it's currently connecting. So it's currently connecting. So it's going to bring this up for me. We should be familiar with this. You just doing your Power Query ETL. So we are currently extracting. So now I'm going to select the tables that I need. So every other things that you have here are mental data. So this is the 5 tables that we need. So if you still want to now do transformation in Power Query, in Power BI, then you can click on transform data. But I don't need to do that. I just need to load the data back to Power BI since I've done my transformation in warehouse. So I'm going to load. Since I've done my transformation I don't have any transformation. I did it in data flow. So there wasn't even, the data was clean and the likes. So now this option, who can explain the difference between imports and direct query mode for me? Anybody can explain the difference between imports, direct query? I believe this should not be the first time we are hearing that. So what's the difference between import mode, direct query mode in Power BI? I think even my screen is even explaining it already. All right, I think the description is there. So import is you just getting a copy of the data, that is a duplicate of the data in Power BI, and direct query is just connecting to the source. So if you use import mode, looking at the 5 views that you have here, you have everything intact if you use the import mode. But if you use direct query, you will not have this table view. You will not have this table view in Power BI because you can't modify it. You are connecting directly to the source. But if you want to still do some other things to the data, you want to try to do some other things. Maybe you want to create another column using your DAX. You then pick import so that's to have the aspect of this table view. So thank you very much, Taylor. I hope I pronounced that. I think I'm pronouncing another thing. Just apologies for that. So now, okay, you learned this from Microsoft Learn. Thank you. So now I'm going to pick import. I want to explain something to us. I just want to explain something to us. I'm going to pick import. I want to be able to explain the different. I don't know if someone noticed. I think it was last month, October, that Microsoft introduced different refresh mode in Power BI desktop. I don't know if anyone noticed. You can refresh your data only. You can refresh your schema, that's your table or the columns you create, and then you can refresh both of them at once. So now if you maybe there's an updated data, if you want to only load your data and you don't want to load the schema, that is maybe you created new columns or new tables, if you don't want to load it, you can pick the aspect of data. But if I pick this direct query mode now, it will only just give me the option of schema alone. So I want to use that to explain to us. So I'm going to use the import mode. So I click on OK so as to have access to the data. So it's currently loading. So I'm just going to add another data. That is, if you look at, if I check my, if I check So let me select all from location table now. Location. Let's see what we are going to get. So I want to do a count. Rather, I want to do a count. I want to do a count of what I have there. So let me run. So I'm having 132. That's, you know, the granular level there is the store. So now I'll add another store, that is another line or another row into my location table, and then we'll see what we have, and then we'll look at Power BI also, and then see what we have. I just want us to understand the different refresh that we have. So I'm going to create a new one. So let's say I don't want to write this in tags because of time. Okay, I think I've seen it. Yeah. So I want to be able to insert into location. That's the region, market, and store. The values. So region should be Southwest, market should be Lagos, and store should be Martina Shop. Just a simple one. So I'm going to run this. If I run this now, it's loaded. So if I do this now, I should have 133. So now let's check Power BI. But before we go to Power BI, I'm also now going to create a column for the business type. That is, we want to have, you know, in the business type, yeah, we only have just the business type. So we want to be able to have the managers managing the different business type that we have. So now I want to create a query which is alter the table, which is the business type, add manager to it. I'm going to run this. So now it's executed. So if I go to my business type now, I believe it should give me, so let me maybe bring it up again. Or let me just go and select all. Where's mine? Let me not waste time. So if I do select all from business type. So let's see what we have there. So you can see manager with no value. So now let's go to Power BI. And I'm going to just go create a measure that will count what I have. That's the total store. So I have total store. So I just want to get a distance count. Sorry, distance count of store from my location table. I'm going to run this. I'm not going to bring this up as a visual. So when you create your report and all of things, so you see it here. So you can see now that this is 132. And don't forget that I already created um, another row into it. I should have 133. And then I created a column in the business type table. So now if I go back to my Power BI now, if I click on that refresh, you see three options. So this is what I want to explain to us. So you have the schema and data, you have the schema, and then you have the data. If I click on data, you know, I did two things in my warehouse. That is, I created a column for, I created a manager column for the business type, and then I added a new row to my location table. So if I click on data, it would only bring this up for me. That's the new row. This will become 133. And it will not bring up the aspect of the column I created. If I click on schema alone, schema is just your table, your columns. If I click on schema alone, it's going to bring in that column for me, and it will not update my data. But if you click on schema and data, it will load everything at once for you. So let's try schema alone and let's see if this value will change. I'm going to click on schema to refresh the schema for me. So now it's downloading, but this data, this report did not change. So let's check our table view, and let me go to my business type. So you can see I have the column for manager, but my report here, which is the total store, did not change. So now if I refresh the data now, should update from 132 to 133. So you can see. So I just wanted to just make us to understand the different refresh type that we now have in Power BI if you are yet to see it. So I think this is where we stop. So that's how you can do your, and you can also do the reporting aspects in the cloud. That is creating this new semantic model and then create your reports in there. But since I've been able to connect it to Power BI desktop for us, which every one of us we are familiar with, I think that should help solve that. So this is where we'll draw the curtain for today. I don't know if there's any question before we call it a session. So over to you, David.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Polimi. Thank you so much. I'm sure what we have learned, not just a thing, but a lot, a lot. So if you have any questions, you can do well to raise your hands. We can as well drop it in the chat. So we don't want this to tarry for long, so you can just drop your question in the chat or you raise your hands. And also, I'd like to mention that yes, the recording will soon be available. So we're working on making the recordings available. Yesterday's session, as well as today's session, the recording will be available. Okay, looks like we don't have any questions. So that means we are saying we understand everything 100%. Is that what we are saying? Okay. All right. Thank you so much, Sagi, once again. Really appreciate. Could you please share the recorders? Okay, we are definitely working on the recording, so you'll get the recording soon. So you get the recording soon. So I believe once we have the recording, we can go back, watch at our convenience. And I know, yes, you said we need a rewatch. Yes, I know it might be a lot for us to assimilate now. So maybe once we have a rewatch and we have questions, we can always drop in the groups, in our respective groups. Yes, it's important to get the record for group. Yes, yes. We're working on the record. You're working on it. It will be available very, very soon. Very, very soon. All right. Thank you so much again for joining today's session. Thank you so much. I also want to encourage us to keep learning, keep the fire burning. I mean, you can see that this is not something you just learn in a very short time. You need to keep practicing over and over and over again for perfection. So, to encourage us, keep the fire burning, keep learning, complete your assignments, and don't just learn alone. Also learn amongst your peers, amongst your peers in your groups. Learn with somebody. All right. At this point, I'd like to draw it close. Thank you for joining today. Do enjoy the rest of your evening. See you next time. Thank you. Bye bye. Bye bye,
Bye,
everyone.
everyone.
Bye.